Hey everyone, I'm Andrew Coonrad from NVIDIA, and I'm here to show you the GeForce GTX 560 GPU, brand new, going to be available on May 17th. So what's so cool about this graphics card is this will enable you to play high definition 1080p gaming with all the features that you desperately desire on your PC platform. Some of those features include 3D vision, PhysX, and of course DX11 enabled games at 1080p resolutions. So now what we're going to do is we're going to show you some of the greatest and upcoming games on the GTX 560 at a 1080p resolution. So first we're going to start with Duke Nukem Forever. I know you're all very excited about that. And then we have a really big secret coming up here with Alice Madness Returns, as well as Rift with all the goodies turned up at 1080p resolution. Alright, so the first title we're going to look at is Duke Nukem Forever. I know that a lot of you guys have been waiting for Duke Nukem for almost 12 years. I have been myself. But what's really cool about the PC version of Duke is that it is exclusive to being able to play Duke in 3D. GTX 560 is the perfect GPU for playing Duke in 3D, as it allows you to play at full 1080p resolutions, HD 3D with NVIDIA 3D Vision. Besides Duke, there's over 500 other games that we support in 3D Vision. 3D Vision is awesome. You can see the eyeball from the Cycloid Emperor and rockets from the Devastator popping out all over the screen. It's a really cool experience. You really need something like the GTX 560 to run Duke in 1080p 3D.
It's good.
Alright, so the next game we're going to check out is Alice Madness Returns. It's a little bit darker than your standard Wonderland adventure. But what's really cool about Alice is PhysX. And PhysX is NVIDIA's physics technology that allows us to do a lot of really interesting volumetric, particle, and physics effects in a game on the GPU that wouldn't be possible if rendered on the CPU. Now what I'm going to show you is a side-by-side of what you're missing when you're not using NVIDIA PhysX with Alice. So in this scene, as you can see on the right, with PhysX enabled, Alice is using the pepper grinder gun, which has particles flying off it that are persistent, they stay on the ground, there's volumetric smoke that's being rendered by the GPU, as well as the oil enemy. As he gets blasted, oil falls to the ground and stays on the ground persistently that you can interact with as the character. Whereas on the left, none of these things are present. You really need a GPU like the GTX 560 to get all these awesome physics effects. So now we're looking at Rift. Rift is an awesome game because it is a brand new MMO that's a lot more graphically intense than some of the other previous MMOs you might have played. What you can see here is the GTX 560 is playing Rift on the Ultra settings at 1080p, whereas a 9800 GT, for example, could only play 1080p at the lowest possible quality settings. During this intense scene here with this boss battle, you can see that the GTX 560 is running at 68C. You're getting 41 frames per second on average and about 40% fan speed. Not only is that cool and quiet, but it's also beautiful. Alright, so that was a quick glimpse of the GeForce GTX 560 and all the power that it holds for high definition 1080p awesomeness gaming. The card is going to be available on May 17th. If you want more information on the graphics card, you can go to GeForce.com and check out all the things we got there for you. Alright guys, thanks for coming by.